Champ is back.
Eighth round.
Might boo, I don't know.
That's exciting. How do you deal with like your brother's hate?
I come from can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, I come from a talking family, so I think it's funny. I just talk back with him. Like, you know, it's just, I be
My whole family's from DC. My whole family. Like my entire family.
Don't bring them.
Don't bring
them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you,
they gonna celebrate with me. Yeah,
don't bring them.
What can happen? I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation will be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been.
Roach's brother storms the stage after Gervonta Davis insults their family during the press conference. He says they don't tolerate disrespect and come from a background where hate is never swallowed quietly. Instead, they confront it head-on and stand together strong in defense of their family's name and pride.
Because, you know, they can't do what we do. They can't do what he do. If they did, they'd be doing it. They just on their phone, at home, sitting on their ass.
That is so true. So you box too?
Yes.
Gervonta Davis ruthlessly mocks Lamont Roach's family by targeting his father, laughing about how nervous he looked during a public moment. Davis says, "Man, his pops was up there shaking on the mic, my kids. I'm watching him. And he was trembling for real." He calls out Roach for denying it and ridicules both of them, claiming neither the fighter nor his father can handle the pressure that comes with the spotlight.
I know, son. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
pops.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking.
Don't say, bro.
That's cap. What I about to say?
How you gonna say it's cap? And how you gonna say it's cap? I'm watching them.
Jordan, Lamont Roach's brother, says he's watched his brother train day and night and believes victory is guaranteed. He adds that no matter what people think or say, Lamont's hard work and focus will prove them wrong. He's confident Lamont is ready to shine and come out on top.
So, speaking of Big Bro, man, he's got a big fight coming up March 1st, man. Barclays Center, Brooklyn. I will be in the house against Tank Davis, man. How excited are you for that fight?
I'm excited to, be brothers with the new face of boxing. So I'm very excited.
So obviously you see little Big Bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. There's no doubt. Not because that's my brother, but because I've seen him in the gym.
Lamont Roach approaches the rematch with a grounded confidence born from experience. In their first encounter, he managed to challenge Gervonta Davis in ways few have before, frustrating the rhythm of a fighter known for dismantling his opponents. Roach's strategic angles, sharp counters, and ability to absorb power shots disrupted Tank's usual dominance. This rematch is not just a second chance for Roach, it is an opportunity to push further the weaknesses he believes he exposed in the first bout. Rather than relying on hope, Roach is building off data collected in the ring. His approach is tactical, measured, and shaped by first-hand understanding of Davis's fight mechanics, which he believes many opponents never got close enough to truly grasp.
Complete fighter like me. For them, especially the ones who don't know about boxing, you can suck it. I really don't care. In all honesty, even though I'm going to try to knock his head off from 1 to 12, I think it's going to go the distance. But if I hit him clean, we're going to see if he can take a
Roach enters this bout not as an outsider, but as someone raised within the sports culture. His roots in Baltimore's boxing circles have given him a deeper awareness of the craft and mindset required to thrive. Having already spent meaningful rounds against Gervonta, he knows exactly how Tank operates under pressure.
I feel like you got a certain confidence about this fight that I've interviewed a few different Tank opponents. And everybody gonna say like, yeah, everybody say this and that's what you're supposed to say, right? Like I'm going into a fight, I don't think people thinking they're gonna lose, but it just feels like you have a different confidence than most other people. Where do you feel like that comes from?
That's just how I'm wired, bro. I ain't never backed down from nothing. I damn sure ain't never wanted to come second to anything. So why would it change here?
This history removes the mystery and intimidation factor that often overwhelms challengers. His belief does not stem from arrogance, but from a personal journey grounded in heritage training and accumulated familiarity.
What made you really stand out as a boxer?
My hard work, determination to be the best.
Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style?
I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that.
Anyone specifically?
No, not necessarily.
What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still?
It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work.
hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation would be my son, my family, the ones who behind me.
The moment the first fight ended, Roach returned to the gym with urgency. His response was not celebratory or complacent. It was analytical and relentless. He viewed the bout as a case study and set out to address every gap in execution. Conditioning, timing, and adaptability became his obsession. This immediate shift into preparation demonstrates a fighter who understands the cost of hesitation. Meanwhile, Team Davis also took notice of how tight the matchup had been. While Tank remains the favorite, his team acknowledges that moments of overconfidence and technical slippage allowed Roach more success than anticipated. Both camps now approach the rematch with elevated intensity, knowing neither can afford a repeat of old mistakes.
Lamont Roach throwing his hands fast as hell. He's in the gym preparing. I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. But as far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't, because I think Tank is coming for blood. He's not going to pull his punches at all. I don't think he really did the first time, but I'm not sure how well he prepared or how mentally focused he was. I think you're going to get the very best Tank in a rematch, and you may just get an even better Lamont Roach, since Lamont Roach don't have to speculate if he's good enough. He fought Tank. He has more confidence now than he did before, and he felt that he was robbed. So he's going to be on one. I think the rematch is going to be far more exciting.
This isn't just another rematch. It's becoming a rivalry that defines both men's paths. Roach changed the narrative by going the distance with Davis and refusing to break under fire. That performance alone shattered the myth that Tank steamrolls everyone.
Better. But they've known each other. These two have known each other for a while. Does Lamont Roach just understand a way to beat or frustrate Tank in a way that others don't? You know what I mean? Like, has he just found it, so to speak? Like, I have a lot I want to find out after that, because the first fight was so controversial. I think leaving it up to a draw is fine, whatever, even though under the letter of the law, Tank probably should have lost this fight, and probably would have if they counted the knockdown when he took a knee. He blamed it on Grease. On Roach a real shot, even though I still would say Tank figures it out and gets it done and takes it more seriously this time.
Yeah, I think that because they're so familiar with each other, like these guys fought each other when they were kids. And then Lamont Roach comes into the ring, and listen, regardless, like Lamont Roach came in there and he was confident. And I don't think a lot of people believe that he was going to be able to get it done against Tank. People thought that Tank was going to knock him out. Here's the thing, though. Tank is actually super skilled. Like, he doesn't throw a lot. When he does, he's extremely accurate, but he does have skill. And what he does is he reels in his fighters, and he ends up landing big shots on them that end up knocking his opponent out. I think Tank didn't look like Tank.
When a fighter like Shakur Stevenson gives credit, it means something. Stevenson has no reason to hype anyone unless they've earned it. His praise of Roach reveals the respect Roach commands behind the scenes. It's not just about power or toughness. Shakur pointed to Roach's timing, defense, and grit. These are qualities that aren't always seen in highlight reels, but they win fights. In Stevenson's eyes, Roach isn't just a solid contender. He's a serious threat. That kind of backing raises expectations for this rematch.
Do you think, considering you were one of the handful of people to pick Lamont Roach, giving him a tough fight, what do you see the rematch?
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Ryan Garcia's opinion reflects the broader boxing community's shift in perspective. After the first fight, Garcia acknowledged Roach's skill and composure, saying he proved he belongs on the big stage. This wasn't a lucky draw or a fluke. It was earned. Now all eyes are on Tank. The pressure is on him to show improvement, discipline, and heart. If he fails to dominate this time, questions about his consistency will grow louder. Roach, meanwhile, enters with momentum and a growing base of believers.
Match play out if they do fight again. Sometimes not a loss, but something like this, a blemish, might get you back.
It can. It's all up to Tank. It's all about what, how he feels internally. I think, for him, it's a lot to do up here too. Like all of us. But I think that's what you're going to get from Roach. That's what you're going to get at Roach every time, I think. I think it's up to Tank to see, what type of, how far he could go up.
How old is your oldest child?
Roach isn't just trying to win a fight, he's aiming to change his career trajectory. A victory here could elevate him from respected underdog to certified elite. It would silence critics, attract new fans, and open doors to even bigger opportunities. He's fighting not just for recognition, but to create a legacy. That's why he's treating every day of training like it's fight night. The focus is sharper, the diet cleaner, and the strategy smarter. For him, this isn't a paycheck. It's a moment to claim his place in history.
So the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, the body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round. But as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. So Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think he'll stop Roach in the rematch.
Roach's father, who also trains him, brings valuable insight into the rematch. He shared that even before the first fight, Tank Davis and his team showed signs of caution. They knew Roach wasn't an easy assignment. Tank's usual confidence was balanced by strategy, not disrespect. The match happened because of pressure from promoters and fans, not because Davis was eager to face Roach. That alone shows the kind of quiet threat Roach has always been. The rematch comes with even more tension because now everyone has seen just how dangerous Roach can be.
In camp, so knowing the coaches, they knowing us, work it's both ways. It ain't just our way, coming from both sides. So, but no, was I shocked? No. I think Tank tried to tell y'all. Calvin tried to tell y'all. Burry tried to tell y'all, but they didn't want to hear it. They just so stuck on trying to force Tank to fight who they want him to fight, and it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just was made for a great fight. So people need to just sit back and get ready for part 2.
It's gonna be epic, man. I can't wait for part 2, man. Do you got anything to say to the fans, about part 2, about anything that you got going on coming up, social media, anything?
No, I just say get ready, man. Put your seatbelts on, and when that thing happen, man, make sure y'all support. Come to the fight, buy the fight, and be the biggest fan, cheering whoever you're cheering for. Don't matter, but you're gonna see another great performance by the Reaper, man. The Reaper ain't playing. He got a big bag, like you said, big 2 bag.
What do you think the difference would be, though?
You're gonna see the difference. I believe we want to fight. Nobody can tell us different. The majority of the world believe we want to fight. So you're going to see. Both of them going to raise their level. Both of them. So yeah, they're going to make for a greater fight. But
no way. The Roach-Davis story has started to echo historic matchups like Tyson versus Holyfield. In both cases, a powerful favorite faced someone labeled an underdog, but that so-called underdog had hidden strength and incredible mental toughness.
Face off against one another. One guy was a massive favorite, had taken a loss, and was seen to be too small, right? And I'm talking about Evander Holyfield versus Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield was a major fight. But Iron Mike Tyson was viewed as a destroyer, okay? He was the baddest man on the planet. He was indestructible. The fact that he lost to James Buster Douglas was an anomaly because Mike Tyson was with Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. is eerie similar. Lamont Roach coming up in weight seemed to be too small. Lamont Roach opened up as a 25-1 underdog. Lamont Roach, they had history. Mike Tyson and Holyfield had history. Now, they didn't fight in the amateurs, but they had sparring history, and it was said that Holyfield got the best of him in sparring, but they had some good sparring sessions, right? Now, Lamont Roach didn't get the victory, but he frustrated Tank Davis, and we never seen Tank Davis look like that in the fight. He hit him with a shoulder bar. He tried to bite him at one point in time in the 6th round. He took a ill-advised knee and didn't get counted in the 9th round, right?
Like Holyfield, Roach isn't trying to brawl. He's trying to outthink and outlast. These comparisons aren't made lightly. They suggest this fight could be one that defines an era. The emotional stakes and clash of styles give it that classic feel boxing fans remember.
He never truly hurt Lamont Roach, hit him with good, clean punches, but never got hurt. Lamont Roach ate the punches, similar to Holyfield, where we seen him get hit with some big punches from Mike Tyson, but weathered the storm. But he visibly hurt Mike Tyson more than Mike Tyson hurt him, and it was shocking. And this, because of the Holyfield-Mike Tyson situation, it makes the Lamont Roach Tank Davis fight that much bigger. Reason being is the intrigue now, because that's the most recent situation that you can compare to with high-profile fighters, right? You got to.
Joe Rogan's breakdown adds intellectual weight to Roach's performance. He noted that Roach didn't just survive Tank's power, he adapted. Under pressure, most fighters crumble or get sloppy, but Roach stayed sharp. He showed not only chin, but composure, something Rogan says is rare. That ability to stay calm and fire back intelligently is why many now believe Roach has what it takes to win. Rogan's words helped more fans see the technique beneath Roach's toughness. Davis's team isn't making excuses. They're admitting that Roach exposed some flaws in their preparation. They believe that with tighter execution and sharper timing, Tank can win clearly. But the fact that they're even making these adjustments shows how seriously they're taking Roach now. They've moved from overconfidence to careful planning. The rematch won't be just about brute strength. It will come down to who makes fewer mistakes and who imposes their rhythm first.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. It's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about
I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Major.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how's that rematch look like, and then what's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put that.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.